Welcome to selfdiscoverymedia.com, where we discover the communities that are making a difference in the lives of others. Our self-discovery is something we are all making on our life's journey. Here you will find the people that will be your guidance, that will be your inspiration, that will be there for you in support on your journey of life. Do enjoy. Our next show is... Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everybody. Welcome back to another edition of Quantum Spirituality right here on selfdiscoverymedia.com. I'm your host, Sarah Troy, and my guest is Dale Fukuda. As you can see, the future is now. He has on the banner on the back there. And we're going to be talking about this wonderful new patch energy program that he has enveloped and made a part of his life. It's a phototherapy patch technology. He sent me some samples, and I will actually say they do work, and I'm definitely going to be immersing myself into this program. Energy is something that we don't just plug into the wall. It is something that is everywhere around us, within us, and it's how to harness it and make it work for us. So he says this is a no drug solution to bringing the body to its optimum health with the use of the phototherapy patch technology. It's a high code of ethics. It does not harm anybody, and it's the legacy that he wants to leave behind. He's from California. He'll moved to Los Angeles, California from Oregon, Utah. He's done a great deal in life. He's been self-employed. He's had a lot of things behind his back. He's also a co-author of this book called Impact, where he's contributed to chapter in there, and we will talk about that as well. But his why. Why does he want to do this so much? What are the benefits behind it? And what changed his mind in life? Because there's always a pivot that comes somewhere along the line that changes your direction in life, and this is one for you, isn't it? Hi, Dale.
Yes, hi Sarah. Thanks for having me.
My pleasure, my pleasure. I'm just going to put some more light in here because the world just suddenly went dark outside.
Oh boy.
It means more rain's coming. So, but that's the way it is. So we've had lots of chats, and it's been, pleasure speaking to you before doing this show. And you really do believe in what you're doing. But let us reverse back to, Dale as a youngster with different dreams and different passions and different directions in life, because had this been presented to you then, would you have been interested? If there's always something in our lives, the roller coaster, the rolling stones gathering, gathering the moss as we go, that changes our mind and makes us understand what's really important in life. Our health is really important in life. It's a part of our well-being and everything. But what was it for you that kind of changed your direction, and from what direction did you change?
Oh man, what a great question. Well, I think embedded me inside of me from my parents. It was always important how we treat people, and
Mm-hmm.
it was always important not to take advantage. And I had to learn to accept who I am, the culture, the background, and fit in. And somewhere around 16-ish, as I looked around and I had been working part-time like crazy, I realized that being self-employed was the way to go.
Mm-hmm.
Not to be controlled by someone them telling me how much I'm worth.
Right.
So I figured then I was worth something. Who knew what it was or what the business was, but I knew at age 16 that was going to be it. The neighborhood I grew up in, I saw a lot of people obtain material things that were very expensive, but the way they got the
Mm,
money was not what was taught to me. That's
right.
not how to do it. So moving forward, lessons in college, lessons I had to learn. We all learn lessons. If we haven't learned it, we're going to have to, it appears in us in some form that we
Yeah.
have to learn.
Life is one big lesson.
Right?
Yeah.
So after two long-term marriages, about 18 years each,
Mm,
some of the lessons that I was ignoring kept slapping me.
Right.
You gotta
Yeah.
do this. So
Cosmic 2x4.
yeah. I did in the early 20s become part of a printing business.
Hmm.
And I think that was the downfall of my first marriage because I was so focused on making money,
Hmm.
I missed my family. And there was a song, Cat in the Cradle, that came out.
Yes.
My son, oldest son, was, gosh, it was kindergarten, something like that. We're all sitting there. It just hit me like a ton of bricks and I start crying. Okay,
Mm.
there's more to
I
life.
I relate to that one. Yeah.
Yeah, there's more to life than trying to make a buck.
Yes. Yeah.
And throughout, it started developing now as I got further into college that, okay, God, I studied all kind of religions. I'm a foodie. I discovered cultures through food. And I started developing this philosophy, at least in my mind, somewhere there's got to be a balance between spiritual balance, mental, physical balance, mind, body, soul.
Yeah.
And gosh, growing up in different ways, it starts formulating in my head. And through later in life, a lot of expensive self development. I've been through NLP training. I've become a trainer's training.
Hmm.
I finally defined my own version of my spiritual belief.
Hmm.
What I was missing is how can I help other people? Because if there's a way, the more lives I can touch to help them find their own balance,
Hmm.
they become a more powerful being to help others.
The collective. Hmm.
Right? So
Hmm.
if I can help someone and they want to thank me, I will tell them help someone else.
Yes.
And on and on. What would the world look like then if each person would do something to help another person? It'd
Yeah.
be a different world. So the part I was missing was what can I do physically? I'm not a doctor. I'm not going to go to school with all that. And I I was part of a Asian Business Association, and we put on the wealth and health seminars, and we had speakers. And in that, there were these tables where different people would have their wares or something to share, be it in the wealth or in the health. And there was a table. It had nothing to do with this gal was cute and I was single. It had nothing to do with that.
No, of course not.
Of course, I was trying to do for my own education to help other people. I wanted more information. There was this big banner, uh, stop the pain relief in a minute. And it's amazing. I believe there's no accident for any.
No.
I mean, there's always some purpose, right?
Hmm.
It just happened that I had tennis elbow. It was so painful, I couldn't pick up a pitcher of water. It took
Hmm.
two hands. Now, I hadn't played tennis in 40 years at that time.
Hmm.
So I stopped by, and this gal explaining to me this technology of these patches. And she asked permission if she could put one on my elbow. And oh, it looks like that.
Right. Yes, a little
Right
round
there.
cylinder for those that are listening.
Yeah, the little round stickies.
Yeah.
Uh, And she's explaining there's a brown one. She talked about negative, positive energy flow. The point of pain was the negative one, what she was going to do with the white one, and just a nice explanation. She scotch taped the brown one on, barely had the white one touching on. Prior to this, she asked me my level of pain. Us macho men, we can handle pain. So if it was 10, that'd be 7 or 8, right?
Yeah.
I'm telling you, within seconds, I'm moving my arm around like crazy. And she told me, chill out, old man. We don't want you to hurt yourself. We don't know what the root cause was, but I've never, ever felt that much immediate pain relief. So then, back in my head, I said, oh my gosh, this is a thing that could help a lot of bodies.
Yes.
And I didn't know then it wasn't formulated in my head. I was still going, what happened to the pain? I'm looking. And so we set another time that she could explain more, introduced me to a bunch of other patches, and she put me on a program. I thought I was pretty healthy and all that. Um, but by the third week of this program, she put me on with different patches. I had this, oh my gosh, my body's more efficient. I'm not
Mm,
snoring. I've got a lot of energy. I don't need my 3 o'clock power nap. No more coffee in the morning. I used to drink a pot of coffee by when I got up by
hmm
10 o'clock in the morning, a whole pot all by myself. No craving for it. Didn't need it. Didn't want it. I start noticing other shifts in my body where it was becoming a lot more efficient. And that was okay. I'm going to do more research, but I believe now there's a way to help people in their health. So that mind, body, spirit balance.
yes.
This
Yeah.
is something I can do.
And
So,
the thing about the energy, what people don't understand, we talk about chi, which is energy.
correct.
And energy has to flow. It has to flow around us. It is in constant movement. Where it develops a problem and a blockage is when it becomes stagnant and it can't move, right? It backs up and it causes an issue. When the chi and the energy is blocked in our body, it causes pain because the energy is not being allowed to flow. It's like imagine blocking your oxygen source in the body, the blood source in the body. It's going to cause a breakdown of wherever it's at. So it's essential that we keep the energy flowing in our body. So rather like acupuncture, which is absolutely essential, but it takes time and a needle's in you, right? So you might not be a needle person. It releases the chi, it releases the energy. So the patches seem to be on the same principle of that, of releasing the blocked energy and allowing the body to flow and allowing the energy to be more frequent within the body.
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, now I'm glad you mentioned that one of the patches we have is called Energy Enhancer. And it's a negative and positive. There's a brown one. That's the negative energy location. And the white one is for the positive. Now, we can, in fact, a number, this is for all you acupuncture chiropractors that are
Mhm.
listening. We have an acupuncture. She says, this I'm going to call acupuncture to go.
Yes. Yeah.
Once I needle someone, not everyone can afford to come back every two,
Right.
3 days.
Yeah. And you generally need a 10, a 10 appointment program in order to get everything reflowing again.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that can add. Now she says, okay, I can help my clients because with the proper placement of the negative and
Hmm.
positive, I put it on the actual acupuncture points.
Yes.
That gets the body to speak to each other, the organs to speak to each other, become more efficient. They don't have to come back.
Right.
So
Right.
they come back every 4 to 6. Well, at the beginning, maybe 3 weeks, but after that, 4 to 6 weeks, because all of this will maintain that energy flow.
Yeah.
W- We do have a protocol the athletes use, and other people that just all it does is. Did you know your stomach and your spleen should speak to each other? Like,
Well, your whole body should speak to each other. I mean, there's an entire orchestra going on in there. It should be in
yeah,
harmony.
yeah. So that's one of the things, and that's part of that one of the programs that we do have for people interested in that. But yeah, I tell you right now, though, it's stem cells. That's the big buzzword
Mm,
of the future. And days ago, if a person athlete blew out their knee, it was a knee replacement.
yes.
An older
And maybe an end
person,
of career.
it definitely.
Yeah.
In older people that have knee problems, it's a knee replacement. Now, with today's technology, um, they'll take a needle, takes 2 hands about that long, and they'll inject it into the hip to pull out all the blood,
Mm,
plasma, all the stuff. And they mix it up in this centrifugal machine and then take that big old needle, inject it back into the knee.
yes.
At a cost of that, as we know, stem cells are the master cell that becomes any other cell in the body. So as
Mm,
we're growing up, it's our brain cells, lung
right.
cells, all that stuff.
The
Well, this
conductor.
becomes the repair cell for the knee. Here's the problem. It only works about a third of a time for about $10,000 and
Mm,
money back guarantee. The reason
right.
for that is depending on how many healthy active stem cells that can become the wound healing cell, will it work? About a third of a chance. The older you get, the less chance because at age 25, the stem cells quit reproducing.
Mm-hmm,
50, 60, we don't know if they're dead or dormant. We
mm-hmm,
know that there's a lot less active ones. So then there's the idea of the umbilical cord, lots of
mm-hmm.
healthy stem cells.
Yeah,
So if it's processed from that, it only work a third of a chance because the body says it's not mine, reject it.
yeah,
Well, it won't work.
yeah.
Scary part, some countries are experimenting with animals. Now, it's not legal in the United States. There are a number of people, chiropractors seem to be doing it illegally. Um, and it's scary. So
Yeah.
now we
The
have
thing
the,
about science,
yes,
it's incredible the breakthroughs that we've had. But
true.
we also sometimes have to look at, just because it's a breakthrough, is it feasible? It's rather like with the vaccine right now. Is it 80%, 90%, 95%? The efficiency of how it works.
Yeah.
And the thing about, having a stem cell, it may work for a period of time, but then the body needs an update. Rather like a computer. It gets a virus, or you need to update the programs, or you just need to clean it out. It's constant maintenance. So we need to look at a maintenance that helps our body on a daily dose, that keeps it going, not wait for it to break down before we have to fix it, right? So it's not just maintenance, it's performance, all right? Keeping our performance going, because this, back in the day, you reach 60 or 55, even in some cases, it was the rocking chair on the porch, right? Or you
Back in the
Cherokees.
cowboy days, if you weren't on Boot Hill, you were considered really old to live that long.
Exactly, exactly. Now we're in a generation, I'm a baby boomer,
Yeah.
where we are living a very long time. And, what we've seen recently in the news is people turning 117 and 111 and, turning 100, or even having had COVID and coming out of it at that age because, they're good old fashioned stock. Um, and they aren't putting all those horrible preservatives in their body that we scientifically went to with our foods, which are very bad for us. One of the biggest problems that we have in life is stress, and
Yeah.
stress blocks energy. It
Yes.
tightens everything up in your body, and it stops the oxygen flow, stops the blood flow, it stops everything in your body. And the more stressed you become, the tighter you become, the worse it becomes. It causes dis-ease, right? And then you can pick your disease of choice of, maybe what's systemic in your body, and it's going to come out. So if you have a body that's constantly in flow in energy, it's not going to get stressed out because the energy flow is constantly there. And if there is a stressful moment, the body can cope with it and not feel it's being attacked. So maintaining the energy throughout the body is something that's imperative for the body. We used to be able to do it on our own. We can't now because we're just living in a society that is so demanding. As you pointed out, you were working for the money at the sacrifice of the family. Do you know how many times I've interviewed people who've said that? And so you are so much more enriched now and abundant now because of the priority of what you're giving your life,
Yeah.
rather than the emphasis on society's thing of that you've got to be rich, you've got to have this house, you've got to have that. And with it comes a whole load of stress. And yes, you may have cancer. And yes, you may have a heart attack. Yes, you may drop dead before you can really have any of the benefits, right? But
So
you're
true.
rich.
That's true. So now, what if I could say for about $3 a day,
The cup of
one
coffee.
a day, you can take your existing stem cells, however many you have,
hmm
rejuvenate and make them younger, and get that energy moving again. And
Right.
that's just to start with that.
Yeah. Very simple. I mean, it's rather like, taking nutritions. or taking vitamins. We're taking these supplements because they're not in our foods anymore, and our body, as they get older, they need more. So it's the same type of thing as
Yeah,
having,
we're both baby
another
boomers.
supplement in your body.
We're both baby boomers back when we were 5 years old. That apple and those cherries picked fresh from the cherry tree, all the nutrition,
Yes,
everything was there.
yes.
We would walk barefooted, and I didn't
Hmm.
understand it till later. It's called grounding.
Hmm.
We would walk barefooted through the grass, or if we
Yep.
went to the beach, and we were always full of energy and
Mm,
healthy. But this is modern technology. The air we breathe is not the same.
yeah.
The apple that we're getting from the store is not the same
No,
apple.
no.
So
No, they're covered in wax now. They're picked before they're ripened because then they ripen on the way to the store.
yeah,
Right? So
when you get into it, it's scary.
yes, it is very
Put me
scary. Yeah,
back in
the
that.
GMO factor, pesticides and chemical additives and preservatives, and however healthy you want to eat or organic you want to eat, there is always going to be something that's going to get into your food. So we're subject to it even if we walk outside because it's in our air. So we can't, as much as we'd like to, unless we want to go and be isolated up in the mountains, mountain water, mountain air, and away from everyone else, which is not most people's lifestyle or availability. We have to realize we're being contaminated all the time. So what do we do to defend the body? And you mentioned mind, body, and soul, but we've got to not forget the heart. If a heart is closed, the soul cannot speak through it. The soul is our intuitive wisdom. If the heart is not there to receive the information, it can't pass it on to our spirit, our mind, or our body. So our heart needs to be open to the fluidity of energy, the divine energy of wisdom, the divine energy of strength, the divine energy of courage, of everything. So the heart opening up is very important. And, we say to people, put your heart in it. Put your heart into it. And when you believe in something, you've put your heart into this. You know it works, and you want to see other people out there feeling like you feel, right? And have the simplicity of it, because there are so many things that are complicated out there. This is a simple patch. Put it in the right place, and there you go.
No, absolutely agree, 100%. Yeah.
You sent me some samples, which I tried. I have neck injuries and I have fibromyalgia. So my body is always in a state of, you know, like cardboard, and everything hurts and everything hurts to touch. And I put it at the top of my spine there, and I could feel my neck relaxing. And then you gave me some other ones, the negative positive ones, to put on near my lungs because I'm an asthmatic as well. And during these COVID times, we need strong lungs in order to get through this. And I could definitely see a benefit with it, which, I've only had a couple of samples, um, but I could see the difference already just on the first initial patches. So just based on the fact of its initial response, we also have to remember our body cycle changes every 3 months. So if it can do this on one patch, what can it do over a period of time? That reconstruction of your body, which energy can do, folks. That's what it's about. It goes in there and repairs and revives and renews.
Right. So let me ask you, Sarah, when you put the first one, how long did it take you to feel a difference?
Well, at first I felt a warmth. I could feel definitely a warmth in there. And then I'm 7 hours a day at this computer, which is not advantageous. And interestingly enough, actually on the news the other day, they're saying people through this COVID times and this stressful times are getting grinding teeth and the jaw locked. And I realized, oh gosh, that's me. I realize I'm doing that, right? It's like for whatever I'm doing, positivity, my body's going. um,
Right.
so when I put that patch, I could feel the muscle, and my muscles are tight. It's going to take more than one patch, that's for sure. But I could definitely feel the difference. And then I had the lung ones on, which you normally put on once a day, right? I left them on for a couple of days. And, and well, why not? Let's just see how it works. And the interesting is I had to take the positive one off before the negative one. It wanted to come off, and then and the other one was fine. So I left it on longer because for me, I'm always experimenting. Well, what if? see, see how much longer it works, right?
They
As an
think
asthmatic, I could definitely feel a difference. I used my asthma pump less that day.
good, good.
So
See,
that's just on one try.
good. Yeah. That's the beauty of it. It works fast
Hmm.
and take on or off. Now, if you had to take medication or pill, you wouldn't know, and then there's no way to take it off again. It's
Right, exactly.
continuing, right?
Exactly.
This everybody works different. Everybody's body is different.
Yes.
So
Yes, how
that's
quick to, but
I'm a support to help each person
yes.
to
Yeah.
guide them
And
through
you
it.
may have to try different points before you get the right point. It's like with acupuncture, an acupuncturist. I went to one who'd been in the business for 36 years. And the moment you went, ouch, get good. She'd pull the point, right? Twist the needle a little bit more and then zap it with energy, going through it, right? But you'd feel absolutely exhausted afterwards, but wake up the next day and feel fantastic. Right. Well, you don't need to go through that with the zap and all that, but it's also kind of experimenting with which points in your body to put it to get the maximum benefit from it.
Yeah. So we've done a lot of work with master acupuncturists.
Hmm.
So we have a protocol for certain issues where to place the patches. So
Right.
acupuncture has to be just right with the needle.
Yes.
Patch can be off a couple inches and you're good.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. And there's these meridian points throughout our body.
Mhm.
They're the points of where the energy kind of comes in and generates out. And so if you're hitting those points, then it's the right place in order to keep the movement going in the body. So many people today, like fibromyalgia is something that's really increased considerably. So many people with stress, like especially it's been a stressful year. It doesn't matter, I'm a very positive person. I always look to the benefits of things, but it's still a stressful year. We're all very tired of COVID lockdown and everything, and and the showing. If I go out, am I going to be susceptible to it? And I had a cold this week, and immediately, it's just a cold, but immediately COVID. You go there, you can't help it, right? Because COVID is so prevalent out there right now. That adds more stress. So if you can bring that stress level down, you're building your immune system up. And if you're keeping the energy flowing throughout the body, that is it. People don't understand. If you have an electric car, it can't only work on one side of the car. It's got to work throughout the car in order for everything to be working. We are electric vehicles, and we need to make sure that the system is working throughout the body, throughout the body. Otherwise, we're not functioning at high performance.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You hit it on the head. That's a great metaphor, great description. Absolutely.
A lot of people think energy is something you just plug in. And how can these patches, you know it's just a patch, how can it do that? I don't see how it can work that way. And sometimes we have to just look at something and go, I don't need to understand it to give it a try. Let the proof be in the pudding, right? Give it a
Absolutely.
try and see for yourself.
Yep. Absolutely. So I'm a big advocate of try,
Hmm.
give it a shot,
Yeah,
and supportive of that.
right. I mean, you've tried all sorts of things, and as you said, the old tennis elbow. And you mentioned something when you were describing that. What was the core problem? Now, the thing is, if you're taking a nutritional, and there's some wonderful nutritionals, I take nutritionals. Um, when you do have acupuncture, they're going to the core of what the problem is and releasing the energy, right? So when you talk about, oh, I feel better, but has it helped the core? Well, if that energy is really going deep into the problem, it's repairing the problem.
Yes. Yes.
It's not just energizing, it's repairing it. And that's the important thing.
Yes. Okay. So here's a big, I'll call it challenge for acupuncturists and chiropractors. Frozen shoulders and
Yes.
fibromyalgia.
Yeah.
They have a difficult time with that.
Yes. Yes.
Not that I wish it upon people,
Nor
but
do I.
and they will that have that. Give me 5 minutes with them,
Hmm.
walk them through which patch to put where.
Yeah. Yeah.
I in Manila with my girlfriend, and she met a friend from school days. And we never knew till we were talking. She had frozen shoulder,
Yeah.
couldn't go past that,
Yeah.
and really having trouble to even reach back to.
Yes. That's
Yeah.
me. Yeah.
So we patched her.
Yeah.
She started to cry, and her arm went
Yeah.
like, and she
Yeah.
was hit back.
Yeah.
That's one. That's
Oh, it must be voodoo. No, folks, it's energy. It's energy. I don't think people understand the blockage of energy. I used to have a one wonderful massage therapist.
hmm
But what did she do? She would have me bend over, do this and do that. Okay, that's blocked. That's blocked. That's blocked.
maybe she could tell. Okay.
Yes. And she immediately knew where was blocked. And it wasn't the deep, deep, just massage. She would go in, because with my fascial pain, it's the fascia is constantly screaming. So sometimes just the touch of the body can be really painful. But she
Uh,
would go in with the flat hand and then hit that point and release it. And you could just feel it. It
feel
was
it.
just wonderful. I mean, it said you're zapped afterwards. You have to go and sleep. Your body's just, ugh. But then
Yeah.
the next day, and I used to go to her twice a month to kind of keep myself supple. And unfortunately, I moved, and then it got to me I couldn't afford it anymore. At $100 a time,
Oh,
it was a lot of money, just to go and have that. With the patches, you can do it as cheap as $100 US a month, and that could be daily, a daily dose, right?
that's correct. hmm
So massage therapists now don't even do anything under 125.
I know.
Right? And it's like it feels great, wonderful. I do not knock a massage when you've got a good masseuse. It is wonderful for the body, but it's expensive.
And you have to go back
And
and
you have to keep going back and keep going back. And, yes, you're asking the people to wear the patch every day, but that's so that it keeps the body constantly supple and in energy.
yeah, you nailed it. Yep. That's
And they
all
can use the patch in different places too. They don't have to always use it in the same place.
different places. Depends on whatever the thing is, and that's where my input comes along.
Hmm.
You throw out to me what it is you're looking to accomplish, what the symptoms are, and I'll tell you where to put it.
Right. And with the case of somebody with fibromyalgia, where it's like, where does it hurt? The entire body. you know, it's okay. Where do you start? Well, you start at a point, as you say, at the top of the spine, because that affects the entire spine. It affects the brain. And we've got to remember, like the fascia, which is underneath our skin, before we get to the muscles, it's that white tissuey stuff. Those are the fiber optics that's coming from your brain that's telling your body what to do to move, be able to do this with your hand, right? If that is damaged, it can literally turn to stone and you're blocked. That means that motor skill is no longer there. That's why people say, oh, my hands are so tight. There's a blockage along the line. If you can have that energy go through it, it's sending boop, 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 boop messages in order to ignite again and get going. So you may start off with the entire body being cardboard, but as you start releasing this and start releasing that, the body goes, oh, harmony again. I like this piece of music.
Yeah. Yeah. No, you got it. That's it. It sounds simple, but it is simple. And people make it more complicated than it needs to be. The commercials we see with all the medication and side
Yes,
effects that we don't pay attention to, that and forget the basics that you and I are talking about.
right.
Your body, energy flowing, and things will take care of
Yeah,
itself.
the body does need some help. It's incredible at healing itself, but it does need some help. So you give it the right fuel, energy, it
Yes.
can get in there and do the work. Talking about those commercials, depression hurts, right? Depression causes this, depression causes that. Take this drug, and then 10 minutes of the side effects, and it may cause suicide.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
why would you even think about taking it, right?
With COVID right now, that's a big issue
Yes.
that people are starting to encounter.
Yeah.
I have military people, PTSD,
Hmm.
and you know that patch you put back there,
Yeah.
the EM took care of the PSD. They do that now.
That the reason why for that is the reason why we get depressed, and fibromyalgia depression is one of those things. It's a chemical imbalance, right?
Yes, you do. Yeah.
And so when you're, I mean, yes, you can be sad because something's happened in your life, and you can get depressed because of the trauma. That's a different depression. There's the chemical depression that can come along that you have absolutely no control over, no reasoning, no rationality to it at all. It is a consumption of you. And if you can get your equilibrium back on sync again, and the proper energy flowing through your body isn't getting stuck in that depressive mode where you feel paralyzed to do anything. So get the energy flowing, and you are releasing that depression, you're releasing those emotions and that issue into fluidity, which is really, really important.
Yep.
That's where it comes into the mind, right? You can release the mind.
Yep. It all has to function together.
It does. That I don't think people actually look at the fact that we do need to treat our body as a whole. Most people today, and you were at one point, you were living from the head up. More is more, the title, the car, the house, the this and that, living up to society's expectation, and you're as miserable as hell. And it
Yep.
cost you a marriage, and it cost you everything else, right?
Right.
Because those expectations are an illusion, they're unreal. And they put so much strain on a human body because your entire psyche is saying to you, but this is not the way to live.
Yeah.
This is not the way you're meant to be. You needed the cosmic 2x4 to come along and change that direction for you.
Yeah.
Now that you're in harmony and in sync with your own energy, not only are you feeling younger, you're looking younger, you've got more energy, and you truly know the value of life.
Yep. It's that constant every day is keeping that going. And more I can share and help other people get that same as how I feel and as young as I am, um, then I'm doing something good for the world. It's got to be
Right.
a win, win, win.
Well, we're here to be of service to one another. That's our role in life. What's
Yeah.
our instrument? How well do we play it? Which orchestra do we join? And how do we create a symphony that resonates with other people and helps them, right? We're all here to be of service. That is what life is about as a human being. And you can have all these different experiences in life. And then you find that one that's an accumulation of your wisdom, accumulation of your knowledge, where this works. My heart can attach to this.
Yep.
I believe in it. And this is what everything I've ever done in my life has led up to.
Yep. You got it.
Let's talk about the book, Impact. You're a co-author in this. Tell us all about the book.
Oh boy, there's a number of us that had gone through NLP training all the way through to be certified trainers. And each of us had our own journey. We didn't know what we didn't know when we started.
Right.
But every time we went through practitioner level, then we went through master prac, we dug deeper, we learned more. We went into timeline therapy. And did we realize, we didn't realize our unconscious mind,
Mm,
what it had that was creating us to have road rage until we can go through
yes.
the gestalt, all the major negative emotions. It could have been something that was, we don't remember usually earlier than 4 or 5 years old. This could have been something that happened to us when we were
Mm,
babies,
mm,
and it had left an imprint, left an impact in us that affected us later.
yes.
So, part of the learnings from that as we go on, um, here's what I love. Every day I have something to, I can get up, first of all, I have
Hmm.
something to do, and I can do it. And all those learnings, all those things I've got from NLP, I get another aha moment. Maybe I didn't have the biggest impact then,
Yeah.
but something today, because of other things I've experienced, had a bigger impact.
Yes.
So I don't have road rage. I don't want to,
Waste of energy.
Right. Waste of energy.
Yeah.
And when you understand that, it's all about accepting other people's map of reality. Everyone
Yeah.
has the way their beliefs are, and We don't have to argue. If I can accept wherever that person is, okay, I don't have to agree, but I can accept him.
Yeah.
And if I can accept that person and his behavior, I can help give him tools to shift that behavior so he becomes a more valued person that he can now
Yeah.
on some good.
Yes. I'm a big advocate for understanding who you are. We all have four key personality traits, and there's always one that is stronger than the other.
Correct.
And, that's our perception. That's how we interact with other people. I'm screaming blue, hence the blue, um, which means I'm very much an air sign, and I'm always needing to be in fluidity. Do not cage me or trap me in, right? There are other people that really are logic based. I want to know the details and the data, and I need to understand that before I can make a decision. Other people need the structure. Just tell me how I build it, right? And other people are like, this is marvelous, I need to share it. How do I profit from it? You know, we need to understand who we are, because in understanding who we are, why we understand what our drive is. We understand how things affect us. We then begin to understand what's important, and how can I use my personality trait, my calling, my passion to the greatest good. And that greatest good has to start with you, because everything you're doing is an inside out job. And we
Absolutely.
have to go in order to express out. And if you've got the road rage, there's something turmoil going on inside. Calm the waters inside and you'll realize, oh, waste of energy. I'm not going to road rage, right? It's just not where I want to put my energy. But we've got to be willing to do the work on ourselves. The patches are working through our body. They're working in our body, through our body. By keeping the fluidity of that energy going, it's also helping us keep an equilibrium in our psyche and in our beingness.
Yes. Yes, it is. This is true.
Balance,
Right, right.
right?
Exactly.
Balance.
Uh-huh.
That's the whole key of life. I'm a Libran, and everybody thinks as a scale you want to just be perfectly balanced. No, I want to be able to go up and down gently. I don't want the extremes. I don't want extreme up and extreme down, because those extremes throw us off kilter.
Mm.
It's being able to kind of be able to go with the flow, rather like the diagram behind you, the gene twirling, everything point meeting. Nothing is a straight line, right? Everything has a movement and a pattern to it. And we need to understand what's our pattern and how do we move in it.
Couldn't have said it any better than that. I absolutely agree. Yeah.
We at our age have gathered the wisdom through our life's knowledge and experience. But what we're telling the people that are younger than us is don't wait this long, right?
Yeah.
Make that self discovery earlier, and then you don't have to go through the two marriages and the cosmic 2x4 and everything else to get to where you want to go. You can get to where you want to go faster if you're willing to step up and do that work ahead of time.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, it's interesting that the earlier person is influenced by our age experiences, the better off they are. Unfortunately, they don't start listening because they believe
Know it all.
they got the world by them, they have all the answers, and not until based on experience and college, somewhere
Mhm.
in that time period, they're already in their 20s before they go, wait a minute, mommy and daddy said something back then and made sense now.
Yeah.
Or my
Yeah.
teacher said, and now I get it. So
Yes.
it's based on their experiences and whatever point that is, they go, oh,
Mhm.
well, if there's a way we can capture the teenagers because they've got all the energy and they believe they can do anything,
You're right.
capture
Indestructible.
that.
Know it all.
Yeah, capture that channel. You can do anything. Yes,
Yes.
in a good way to go,
Yes.
and share with them. They can grow faster than we did.
Yes. And
Yeah,
the thing is, they've got that beautiful energy that hasn't really been interrupted yet,
correct.
right? So if they tap into that energy, mind, body, heart, and soul, as a whole being with the good intentions of being of service to other people, unlimited of what they can achieve.
Can you imagine what
Ah,
the world would look like now if
yes.
at that point each one can influence another one and
Yeah.
another one? Oh, that's
Yeah, I
so.
know. Look at our children today that are growing up, the young ones, the indigo children, as we call them. They haven't been contaminated yet with the societal crap, and they call it as it is. They have exuberant talent, an incredible perception, and they're willing to speak it out and own it. And don't come to me with your contamination of it's got to be this way. No, I don't, I'm not going to be a social media puppet. Right? I'm going to stand tall in my own life, in my own discovery, and what I believe in. And I'm going to, I always have a word for every year, and this word is actionism. Activism is talking and ranting and raging about it. Actionism is doing something about it. And our youth are in actionism. They're doing something about it. Where we can help is taking our worldly knowledge, our experience and wisdom, and help steer their ship. They're the captains of their own ship, but
Yeah,
we could be that navigator. We could
that
be that
navigator.
that you know that that second in command and just navigate them through it. Be there as their support, because when the elder and the younger come together, whoo, what harmony! What
Yep,
harmony!
yep.
Especially if we're on the patches and match the energy, right? We can match that energy.
So I have an idea.
Hmm.
You and I are going to go on tour together because together we can touch so many lives in a
Sounds good to
positive
me.
way.
When the world opens back up again, right? Yes.
Yes, yes.
Well, I mean, that's the reason why I do these podcasts, is to bring people like yourself who's sharing your life experience. You're not apologizing for anything you did because it was your life's journey. What you're doing, though, is sharing your waking up, what you've learned, how you've applied it, and what you've applied it to, and why you've applied it. And this is the inspiration that begets invitation to other people. It worked for you. It's worked for so many. I've tried it. It works for me. It is a passion now that you want everyone to try it because it works. When Harry met Sally, I'll have what she's having, right?
Yeah,
It
well,
works on her, right? If it can cause that reaction, I want it.
imagine everyone's that was feeling down and depressed or walking in, all of a sudden they're going, "Oh,
Yeah,
oh!"
ooh, I got some of that. Yes. The whole thing about life is that as we get older, it's not time for us to hibernate. We've reached a stage in our life that we can truly immerse ourselves into a passion, into a calling, into something we love to do, and we can do it exuberantly. Our enthusiasm is there, our passion and conviction is there. Sometimes our energy isn't matching. Well, hello. All right, hello. We can have that too.
Yeah, absolutely. I've pre-COVID, I was traveling a lot. I think we're in town or in our neighborhood maybe 4 to 6 weeks before we're gone again. And
Hmm.
talking travels to Europe and Asia all over. And I think what was sad, something I remember walking through Rome. It's a lot of walking.
Yes.
And and how many people spent their whole lives putting money aside to be able to enjoy, but weren't physically able to enjoy what they save for. And I
Yes.
see them on walkers and here these people are 10, 20 years younger than me and couldn't keep up with some of the walking tours. And that was sad.
Yes.
And
I'm one of them. I'm openly admit, with my fiber, I've reached a stage where my energy it's rather like a battery on your phone. We throw away the phone because the battery is not charging properly. It never goes to a full charge.
mm-hmm.
All right. And you can't replace the battery because the manufacturing just wants you to go and buy another phone. All right. So there
Right.
is no human replacement of the battery. But I'm one of those people. I peter out. My energy, reaches a peak and then there is no more charge.
Yeah.
So having something like this that can keep me charged and
That's
not a sugar high, like hysterical, woo, I'm on top of the world, boom, crash. I
right.
don't want that, thank you. It's
Right.
so much harder to come back up again. But having something that can maintain a consistent energy, I've got so much more to do, but my body hasn't been able to do it. So having something that will allow my body to match my enthusiasm, hallelujah.
Yeah. It hasn't yet, but looking forward, we're going to get in a position where you're going to be as you were 20 years ago and be able to do that. And better, because some
Yeah.
of the things happened to you about 20 years ago. So we're going to
Yeah.
bring,
For me, 24 years ago is when I got fibro. So that's when it hit me. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
man, how's that for a little mind read? Um, but bring you back into that state
Yes.
where you'll be able to keep up. And you got grandbabies coming.
I do. 2 weeks, I've got a grandson coming.
Yeah, and how fun would it be playing with the
Yeah.
grandbaby, watching the growth, and then they start walking,
Yeah. On running.
of
And
course,
I physically right now can't run. I
and
cannot run. And I want to be able to chase after my grandson.
that's right.
Yeah.
So you'll be able to keep up with,
Yes.
right? And
Yes.
fun things that you're going to be able to share with him
Yes.
and stay up with him, read
Hmm.
books with
Hmm.
him, go to the park, push him on the swing.
Yes. Yeah,
See,
all the things that, spoil him rotten and then send him back to his parents,
that's it. That's
the
your job.
grandmother way.
That's
Just what the
your
kids
job.
fear. We haven't had a generation ever before that has lived this long or has had a third, fourth, fifth chapter in their life where retirement now for most people is setting up a new business, doing something else that they love.
Yeah,
How many entrepreneurs are 50 plus, right?
that's
Aren't you meant to be retired? I'm 66. No, 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 no. And for as long as I can do this, I'm going to do this. This is my meaningful purpose, my reason for getting up every day, right? Um, it took me a long time to find that passion. I'm not going to just chuck it over now because of my age. But do I need help in order to keep on doing it? Yes, because the body has taken a lot of its toll and it needs support. And if we can find the support, as I said, if I can keep my energy up, I can keep everything else up. It
yep.
is all to do with the generator. My generator does not know how to sustain itself
Yet, but it will.
yet. Yet. Yeah. I mean, I've got a couple of those patches here. Where are they? Yeah, here they are. I mean, they're very, very simple, as you pointed them out before. Um, and you have the directions there. And if people can see this, people are audioing, please go to the site, selfdiscoverymedia.com, and just put in Dale Fukuda, and you will see all the information there. But just simple patches, and you show where to put them. You obviously, when you're signing people up, you show them where is the most beneficial part of it. Put on a patch, have the energy, get about doing your life, living your life. I'm looking forward to getting out and matching my spiritual energy, my physical energy matching my spiritual energy.
Yep. Ah, you're such an exciting person to hang out with. I
You see,
tell
my body doesn't match the same energy. I want my body to match the same energy. So that's important for me,
you, I
definitely.
changed my background, so you'll see the website
Yes.
lifewave.com/stem cells USA, and you'll see videos, and you get to read testimonials, and almost 100 clinical studies, independent studies.
Mm,
And they're you'll see for those that need all the detail, the
yes.
certification is there. For those just to get a visual and say it works, you'll see how it works for other people. So we're the company can back us up because we talked about that stem cell. There's no 100% money back guarantee.
Right.
We've got programs that can put person on that they can go 100% money back guarantee.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if you don't apply and you don't give it a try, you're not going to see the results. And if you're looking, yes, you're going to feel a difference straight away with the patches, but it isn't like, well, I didn't feel something straight away, it's not working. Maybe your body needs more time, depending on where your body's at, how active have you been, how active are you now. You've got to understand it takes 3 months for the cellular structure of your body to rejuvenate. So it may take 3 months for your body to really start seeing the fortitude of these patches. Um, and it's, give it a try and monitor yourself. Write down every day, on your calendar, in your journal, what you could do today that you couldn't do yesterday. And then you become your own testimony, right? But if you're not willing to try it, how do you know if it's going to work or not? I've
Yep.
been looking for something that's going to rejuvenate my energy because I am just so tired of being tired. And that's one of the huge, big things with fibromyalgia: fatigue, body fatigue, and never any energy. And it's so utterly irritating because I've got an abundance of spiritual energy and the body just doesn't match it. So I'm most certainly going to give this a try. I've already tried it and it's, shown me an indication of what it can do. And I'm most certainly going to give it that time to rejuvenate my body because yes, the grandson. B, I want to live life. I don't care what age we're at. I want to reach 100 and, you know, be out there celebrating. And I want to be able to do it because I can still be proactive and interactive with life.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
we need help as we get older. We need help, right? And this is the kind of help we can have. So this is the site that you can go to for you. And it shows your ID up there, which if they go to the site, then they just put in your ID, which is 649-019, right? But
Correct.
how else can people get hold of you personally?
Email, text, phone. Email is my first at my full name. So it's Dale at dalefukuda.com.
Okay. Are you on any social medias?
LinkedIn, I'm doing more on LinkedIn. You can find me on LinkedIn.
Same name?
Yep. Dale
Okay.
Fukuda.
And the
Phone
Fukuda
number
is Fukuda.
Fukuda. Mm-hmm.
So you can do it on LinkedIn, the email,
Uh,
and
phone,
anywhere else.
text 714-746-9896.
Okay. Um, you're open for conversations. You're open just to letting people talk through their problem. It's not about the sales pitch. Because I get when you're pitching me before you're even listening to me. I'm
Yeah,
sorry, I'm not interested. It's the knowing, listening to the person and understanding what they're going through. Then you're better able to know how to serve them,
absolutely.
right?
That's it.
So obviously, NLP training is really good behind that. But and
Yeah,
any sales
it
folks,
helps me
please.
stay focused on listening to them,
Yes.
what their concerns are, and that's where it helps a lot.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
I, listening is huge,
Mm-hmm.
and whatever time it takes them to feel comfortable, because some people aren't comfortable saying, "Oh, I'm fine. Oh, but I'm on this medication, and
Mm-hmm.
oh, by the way, I can't sleep." Well, I allow the time where they are comfortable. And I do want to know if they are on medications,
Mm-hmm.
which one they are, because I'll Google it right there while we're talking
Mm-hmm.
and let's see what side effects it has.
Yeah.
That that tells me a lot and what how I may be able to help them and how much time we should allow. I don't
Yes.
want them to not be on medication. That's up to their doctor.
Mm-hmm.
But if they're feeling better, it's up to their conversation. That doctor said, okay, we can reduce the
Yes.
dosage, whatever it is. So it's 100% transparent, wide open conversation. Talk to me. I'm listening.
Yeah.
Whatever I can do to help, I'll offer it.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking
Yeah.
of, if anyone's interested, if they're in pain, let me
Mm-hmm.
know. Let me know what the pain is. I'm offering to, this is my little stash of my own little patches because I'm going to take it out of my little stash. And like I did with you,
Mm-hmm.
I will mail them a sample with no instructions. They'll Zoom so I can walk through because they're going to feel things that they're not sure what they're feeling.
Yes.
They'll need some aid. I'm their crutch to say, oh, that's okay.
Yes. Yeah. And the thing is, we know that type 2 diabetes can be controlled by diet, by a totally different lifestyle. We also know that things like fibromyalgia and type 2 diabetes and even a certain amount of heart disease has come about in the last 20 years due to more stress, due to more chemicalization, just due to more out there. Um, And, you know, it is time for us to take ownership. You know, we love pointing a finger at people, but there's three pointing back at us. And it's like, you know, I have another show called Your Health is Your Choice. And it is.
It
Nobody
is.
else is responsible for your health other than you. And so you need to be willing to do your own investigation of what works for you, which means that you've got to be open and honest with people. If it's all about the sales pitch and they're just ramming it down your throat, maybe it's not for you. But, you know, maybe they're not for you. Maybe the
Mhm.
product, they're not for you. You want somebody rather like a doctor who's going to, well, actually, doctors don't listen. They don't have time anymore.
No.
You know, so they don't listen. So it's it's okay for you to express how you're feeling, because a lot of people will be, I don't want to, you know, talk about how I'm feeling. I'm playing into the negative. I'm keeping positive. In the meantime, I'm in pain. You know, and it's no, speak to the pain and how it affects your life. You will feel better for that, but then you can provide that solution.
Yes.
And that's the thing. If you don't understand what they're going through, how can you help them?
So you said a key word, and I'm going to respond to that with love. Choice. Who
Mm,
has choices? Now, something that a business partner told me, choice is a powerful thing.
hmm.
Suffering is always an option. And I say that
Yes.
with love.
Yes.
Want to, you give me good input, I will address that. I will give you recommendations, and then it's your choice after that.
Exactly. Exactly. There is always a solution in the world,
Yes.
right? Always a solution. You've got to be willing to find it. I don't know how many people, after getting a diagnosis of cancer, heart disease, who've just given up and been dead within a couple of weeks.
Oh, it makes me cry.
It does me too. It's despairing. Um, why were you given it? It's because somewhere along the line you need to find your courage, your strength, your abilities to go through it and become stronger for it. That's what life is about. Our human process. We are so much stronger, we're so much courageous, we have so many more abilities than we allow ourselves to be. And if we're willing to go through a process and whatever is given us, it's for us to understand those things that we learn about ourselves. And again, how we can be of service at the other end of it. So it's not give up and give in. It's start exploring what options are there out there and what are you willing to try?
You're never too old to learn and experience more.
Never.
The best time to start is right now and
In
move on.
this moment, right? The gift of the present is in the now,
Yep.
right? You see
Yep.
today and you water and nurture what you want to grow tomorrow. What you feed is what will grow. Again, I found a mountain and I see a lot of things going out there where people, oh, I can't do this and I can't do that. I'm bedbound and this and that. You've given into the disease. Yes, I know it's challenging. I've had it 24 years. I know it's challenging. I've tried various things. You have to just keep trying until you find those things that work for you. You don't give up, you don't give in. Yeah, you can have a damn good cry sometimes. You can feel sorry for yourself sometimes. That's perfectly all right. Don't get stuck there. Our
Yeah.
emotions are an indication of what we're going through. Don't become emotional about our emotions, because that's when we block the energy, block the chi, and
Yep.
that's when the dis-ease starts.
Yep. Yep.
Keep that energy flowing. How do people get hold of the book, love?
It's on Amazon.
So do they just put in impact, or is it it's Stacey O'Brien and Mary Lou Hunter? They're the people that obviously that conducted it. So
Yes.
did they just put in impact?
Impact. And yeah.
It will come up because there are a few impacts
I'll tell you
on
what,
Amazon there.
those that are really interested in, here's another gift. I have the first the first six people that contact me have interest. I will invest in them to learn more, and I'll send them a free copy.
Excellent. So much to be learned, because what we're looking at is everybody's experience here. How do we learn best? By other people's experiences. Who are the best teachers? Those that have gone through it, because they were the pupil before they became the teacher. They can relate, you can relate to them, and they're sharing from that place of conviction and compassion because they've gone through it, right? So the best way to learn is from those that have gone through it, always.
Yep.
So they can email you again at
Dale at dalefukuda.com.
excellent. And so I'm not going to put this on the posting. They're going to have to listen to the show in order to get that gift. And there's just so much benefit here. I'm certainly go and then let's just talk about the pricing, because you have like a the small package, which is just a maintenance package. There's also the higher packages. People can also become the retailers of this as well. So let's just quickly snapshot what the opportunities are.
Uh, you can be a retail person. The X39 is the premium patch. So a sleeve of 30 is $150. The other
US.
US
Yeah.
and the others, there's 7, 8 others. They're like $90. There's a program to be a preferred customer, and just using X39, you have a monthly subscription of only $100 a month.
Mhm.
Now, with each shipment, they'll charge you your credit card. You'll get a sleeve of 10 other patches to try.
Ah. Mm.
So each month you do that, you get a different one. If you go all the way to 6 months, you can pick which one sleeve of the other patches that you want. You get a full sleeve of 30. Now, here's
Ah.
the beauty.
Yeah.
I'll send you something called Health Tracker. It's a little guide to remind you, okay, am I sleeping better? What's going on? All that kind of stuff. And I insist, this is important. Take a picture of your face,
Mhm.
neck, and your hands and any scars you have.
Ooh.
And you track that along. The beauty is, because you mentioned, oftentimes you got to go 60 days. You don't,
Yes.
your bones is getting stronger, right?
Right.
You have 90 days. So on your 80th day, you say, that's it, nothing's working. You return the 10 unused patches. You'll get 100% of the money back, plus tax and shipping, all of it returned back.
There you go. No way of losing.
Then there's other kits. We call it, now here's the only difference between a wholesale buyer and a distributor like me. We pay the same wholesale price.
Mhm.
I'm a distributor. This is an income stream for me, so I'm required to buy a sleeve a month. A person that is paying at the same wholesale price wants to maintain just wholesale account, they're required to buy one sleeve every 6 months.
Mhm.
So again, it's so you can the different packages, those who understand business, want to make it a business model. I'll tell you that $1,500 investment is a whole lot less than the millions of dollars I did to get a printing business going. Uh,
Right. Yes. Yeah.
there's other
Yeah.
package, a good starter is $300 or $500,
Mhm.
and it just means the number of patches you get, and that's where I can help guide you. You'll go on the website with me guiding you through, and we help pick it out for you.
Right.
Yeah.
And like, if you're not willing to invest in yourself, you're going to get what you get. If it's a 100 or 150, all right. What thing are you taking? Like, are you craving sugar? Are you eating more cakes and candy? Are you, drinking more coffee? Are you doing that? Start looking what that's costing you a month, right?
Not
Replace it with
just
the
a
patches.
financially cost, but it's a health cost.
Exactly. It's, what we always say with these type of things is put it in your food budget, right?
Good.
Because it is a nutrition for your body. So therefore it is like good food. So put it in your food budget. And you will find there are things that you're buying in your food that you just won't continue to buy because you've been buying them looking for some form of energy, right? And it
Uh-huh.
hasn't given it to
So
you.
how many people out there, your listeners, are in getting Red Bull,
Yeah.
Monster,
Oh,
and so forth?
poison.
That is false. Yeah, it is poison
Yes.
and false energy and a bunch
Yes.
of crashing. True energy is burning fat.
Mm.
Burn your own body fat.
Well,
That's
I've
true.
got a lot of that to burn. I'm quite happy to see that burn up. I've got some COVID fat there.
So, if we want to let your guess how old I am, we can give them a 5-second countdown, and they can make their guess. And then I'll expose. I just had my birthday yesterday.
Oh, happy birthday
So
for
I've been
yesterday.
on a week-long birthday celebration.
Yes.
Um, I don't know if you guys know this area in San Diego, Paradise Village, and you have cabanas that go right out to the beach, and yeah, the food there. I'm a foodie,
I
and the
love food. I love
food
food. Yeah.
experiences I got to have was tremendous.
Hmm.
Yeah. That probably took at least a 5-second countdown.
Yeah. Okay. Reveal.
People my age spots, the ones on my face are still there, but a lot lighter. My hands have no spots, no age spots at all.
Hmm.
Someone told me my neck looked about 10 years younger than I really am, and I
Yeah.
never thought about it.
Yeah, I'm getting there. I'm getting jowly, so I'm quite happy to be on jowly.
Okay. So I just turned 75.
Excellent. Wonderful.
I invite
75 with
all of you
abundant energy and enthusiasm to
I
match it, right?
invite all of you to join me and dance with me at my 100th birthday parties. When we're COVID free, I will be letting you know when I'm going to be in Hawaii, and you guys can join me in different parts because I've got great food places in different parts.
Yeah. Oh, that sounds good. Hawaii is on my list too. Um, you know, we are no longer looking at age as being, a burden or call it quits or anything else. We are looking at us baby boomers as, this is just another chapter in life and I'm going to live it to its fullest,
Absolutely,
and I want to have everything that's going to fortify that energy to make sure I can live it at its fullest. I've got things to do and I
absolutely.
want to be able to do them, right? And I don't want anything to get in my way.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it. So again, it's Dale at Dale Fukuda, Fukuda, Fukuda.com. They reach out to him, book a time. Um, Again, the 6 people get the gift. So first 6 people to email him and say self-discovery media, right? That you listen to the show, self-discovery media, then he'll know you came from here. And give this a try. As I said, I only did one round. I'm an asthmatic. My asthma has been very, very bad lately. Um, to do with the air, the changes and everything else. I'm one of these very susceptible persons to the weather. I did it for that day and a half with the patch there, and I use my asthma pump less. I'm going on this program because I want to be pump free as best as I can, but I want to have energy. I want to be able to breathe properly. I want to be able to do things. I want to be able to chase my grandson. And I want to be able to go and travel and do things and not be exhausted because I can't get around. So if we want these things, it doesn't matter what age we are. This isn't just for old people. This is for anyone. Athletes are using it. Young people can use it. If you've been sitting around on the computer all day, as we are now, it's good to have because it generates your energy while you're working. And so if it's a no-brainer, give it a try. You have no idea if it's going to work for you until you're willing to try it. So thank you, Dale. This has been wonderful having you here with us.
Thank you, Sarah. You're an absolute joy and delight, and thank you for making it comfortable for me.
Yes, his first podcast, folks.
My
He's a
very
natural.
first ever. And I tell you, I couldn't have been had a better person get me
Ah,
through my very first podcast. Sarah's
thank you.
absolutely magnificent. Thank you very much.
Oh, my pleasure, my pleasure. So, folks, remember the solution is always there, but energy is the core generator to everything in life, to a clear brain, to a movable body, to just to the exuberance of being able to live life. If the energy isn't there, everything else starts to break down. So, pay attention to that energy, and here are some simple little patches that can get that energy going. So simple. Can it work? Well, you won't know until you try. So until next time, bye for now.
Great.
We hope that you enjoyed the show. You will hear many, many shows here on selfdiscoverymedia.com. We have new shows for you out every week. Just find them on our podcast or What's New. If you feel that you have something to share that makes a difference in the lives of others, or you too feel that you could be a host, please contact me at info@selfdiscoverymedia.com and we will be glad to speak with you. Have a wonderful day.